YouTube, what's up with y'all? It's the Canard Economy again here. Hopefully, we're getting caught up together. Hopefully, people have been taking their walks, exercise, listening to excellent music, and all that good stuff. But unfortunately, like the views are cool and all, but they don't really mean anything. So I don't really see the point in really having views. So from now on, I only want like real human beings looking at my channel. I don't really I don't need viewership. I don't need likes. Like I said, because it really doesn't matter because y'all don't, the likes aren't really doing anything. And the Cash App still isn't hitting. So I don't really see the point in having likes and comments and views. Nor, I don't really want those type of people watching my videos. Like if you're not going to comment, like, and share, I don't really want your viewership. So, like I said, we're gonna take it up from here. Because like I said, I don't really have time to make these videos like that. I'm really doing this for y'all, so, and I don't think y'all appreciate it. So I'm not gonna expose myself on here and all this weird shit. So like I said, from now on, I officially want a certain audience of people that are upper echelon 1% and really stand on a superior moral compass. So this video will be about strictly morals and principles that you go follow. So if I'm gonna go through the whole list of morals, is I'm gonna say what the morals are, but I believe if you don't agree with all of these morals and principles, it's a red flag on you as a human, and you're an outdated human, if you will, and you really don't deserve the best of the best that life has to offer. Like you can be alive and everything, because that's your human right, but some of y'all are too outdated as humans and need to elevate yourselves. And like I said, I don't see anybody else on here making this type of content for people with morals and principles. Everybody be like, oh, they have morals and principles, but they don't have like a real, it sounds good, but we won't really know about morals and principles until it's like real Showtime shit. You know what I mean? I hope I'm articulating that correctly. Like, cause when, like in survival mode and all that type of stuff. Cause a lot of y'all are good people because you want friends, family, and you want to follow the law and everything. Also, you don't want random people to smack the shit out you or shoot you for saying the wrong thing or having the wrong ideology or moral compass. Because there's a lot of laws and everything that are there's a lot of things that are illegal that should be legal, but they make it illegal because of everyone's ideologies. Like it may be the right thing, but it may offend somebody. Okay. So like I said, the first one is gonna be through the Christian moral compass. I'm sure everybody knows these because we live in the United States of America. But like I said, I would like to be an international, global YouTube. I was gonna say YouTuber, but I just want the videos to go viral and all that type of stuff. And I've been on Twitter. I've been on Twitter all day promoting a few videos because some of my videos are copyrighted due to some of the songs, which is understandable because I'm pretty much making money off of them. Not 100%, but you know, it adds to the video. So like I said, you all could follow me on. I'll show my Twitter because I don't even remember my name on Twitter. It's like capital P underscore capital KARTI 777, I think. But yeah, I have all my information on there. Not information that's in personal information, I guess, but like pictures and stuff. But I have a lot of knowledge on there too, if you want. Because I was gonna write it down all on paper, but I tried to do that. I tried to write it down straight, and my hands started hurting. You get the little writing lines and everything. Like I just writing that the things that I showed y'all yesterday and that music one, my hands started hurting because, like I said, I don't write that much, so my hands all cramping up, and I could literally feel it being, like when you work out, you get kind of sore. My hand feels sore from writing that much, and I was gonna write these principles down too, but I was like, I could just search them up on the computer because, like I said, you can find all this stuff out on Google. I got it right on Google. So, so like I said, there's going to be two sets of moral principles. So the first one is going to be from the Christian aspect, and I'm pretty sure this is, yes, it's common Protestant general listening. So I'm pretty sure this is for all Christians. I'm a Baptist Christian, but I also follow other religions because that's what you're supposed to do, especially as a Christian. Because there's a lot of information that Christianity doesn't tell us, and it's holding us back, if you will. Like, yeah, we're cool, but it's a lot of spiritual practices that you could do that are excellent. Because, like I said, in Christianity, all they give us is prayer and all that type of stuff. Not well, the standard Christian is like you just know to pray. That's about it. That's the only practice. That's not true. But like the gist, you know what I mean? Okay. So, like I said, this is called the Ten Commandments. I'm sure we all know these things. So, like I said, and if you can't follow these Ten Commandments, it's probably a red flag. So, the first one is, you shall have no other gods before me. That sounds good. So that means, and like that means for the Muslims, that means no prophet. For the Jews, that means I haven't looked at the Jews in a long time, but that type of stuff. Let's see. Oh, also in Hinduism, they also have they have their own gods. They have their own gods that they worship. I thought I heard somebody, but they have the Hindu religion, and they have all these types of gods and everything. I don't recommend searching them up yet, but you can if you want to. It may scare you a little bit. They have a lot of scary figures and gods. They are the truth, though. That's the wild part about it. Is like it says you shall have no other gods before me, but they are telling the truth, though. It is like they have knowledge and all that stuff, and but they're not higher than I'll say Jesus Christ. I'll say they're not higher than Jesus Christ. Cause and then they make you worship them too. Like you have to have like a altar, or you gotta pray to them. You gotta eat certain foods, all that type of stuff. You gotta devote your time and energy, and all that good stuff. And I think that's why a lot of people like Christianity, because you don't have to do all that. You could just just be holy and pretty much just do nothing. Just do nothing, and I guess just thank God and be a moral, and like I said, have these moral commandments, and just be a good person. Pretty much not offending people and all that. Because that is the best way to tell if you're doing something right or wrong, if you're offending people. But sometimes it may just be the person that's not experienced. Okay, so like I said, the 10 Commandments, the first one is, you shall have no other gods before me. The second one is, you shall not make idols, which is, that's like a celebrity. Or me, if you will. Like, if it's, like, I'm giving you all this information, they'll be like, oh, he's a prophet and all that good stuff. You know, I don't want y'all to praise me or nothing. I'm just giving the information out. That's like for example, like how people didn't know this information, and I give y'all this information, y'all would think I'm a god or alien or some bullshit. You know what I mean? And y'all will probably like pray to me and give me offerings, all that type of stuff. That's idols. Now you can do that, but it's not recommended. You know. Okay. So, like I said, number one is, you shall have no other gods before me. The second one is, you shall not make idols. The third one is, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. I guess that's like saying, I was gonna say, you know how people say, "Oh my God," it's like that, or just, we're just using God's name just freely, you know, like just for the, you know, like for example, if somebody did something, like let's say I hit my leg on the fucking on the desk, and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I guess that means using using the Lord's name in vain, you know. Okay. So number 4 is, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. I'm guessing that's Sunday. I guess just to keep the. I didn't know that was the 10th Commandment. I didn't know that was one of them. I hope this is the right one, but because what I'm looking at, it looks like it. Hold on, real quick. Let me make sure. Okay. Yeah, that's the right one. I just want to make sure. I had to make sure that wasn't the Catholic one, but I'm sure they have their own thing. But I'm sure they have the commandments. I'm pretty sure it's the same type of thing. Okay. So we're on number 4, which is, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, which is Sunday, I'm sure. And it is important to keep that day holy. Like, a lot of people respect that day, even when they're not Christian. Okay. So number 5 is, honor your father and mother. Yeah. Even if they telling you wrong, you know, you should still at least be respectful. Yeah. All right. So numbers, like I said, we're all going down. If y'all can't agree with these, it's probably a red flag. You know. Like I said, because these are all acceptable. These are all acceptable moral compasses. But like I said, some of this stuff gets kind of outdated. But that's what the commandment says. You got to really stand on it. You know, because they'll test you. They'll test you with these laws. And if you fail, that means it's just on you. Just making sure. I'll be hearing shit. You know. Now I don't know, paranoia shit. I just want to make sure. I don't want people to randomly come in the house. I'm shooting these videos alone. I don't want nobody to, you know, because it feels awkward when I'm speaking out loud like this and other people in the house. I don't like that shit. But yeah. So like I said, if you can't agree with these, it's probably a red flag, and I don't really want you around. Or really, well, you could be around, but this isn't really for you. So, because like I said, we don't turn anybody away, of course, but you know, because if you don't agree with this, I don't see you getting on this joint and expressing to everybody your moral compass. Nor is it superior, I'm sure, because I'm pretty sure you got your moral compass from here, from Christians. So, okay. So like I said, number 5 is honor your father and mother. Mother. So let's go from number 1. Number 1 is you shall have no other gods before me. Number 2 is you shall not make idols. Number 3 is you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Number 4 is remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, which is Sunday. Number 5 is honor your father and mother. Number 6 is you shall not murder. And I know that's a hard one for people, because we go to war, and you know, people try to rob us, or people try to fight us, or somebody may run in your house. That's the hard one, kind of, because it's like, where does it come, like with self-defense? Because as you can see, it doesn't say. Like, I know it was a trip. I heard people. Y'all hear that shit? I didn't know. I didn't notice what time it was. It was 3 o'clock. All the kids getting out. We don't fake it. Like, this little kids, this kids outside. They high school kids. They just getting off the bus. I know I wasn't tripping, Joe. And what is that? That's called intuition. Okay, you feel me? Like I said, the black pill. We don't bullshit. So, like I said, it says you shall not murder. It doesn't say acceptable in self-defense. It doesn't say in going to war. It doesn't say to defend your house or nothing, or to die, or to get killed either. So it's like, damn, 'cause I'm not trying to get killed, or you know what I'm saying? So that's the hard part. So that's why it's on you you got to make that sacrifice. And it's, you'll be rewarded, of course. And if you're really standing on those type of principles, I don't think God or the universe or whatever that comes our way would give that to us. You know what I mean? I don't think they would put that in our face if we really want to follow it. Because if you, I was about to say, if you murder somebody, you're kind of taking their soul. You know what I mean? And then they'll be with you. It's like, I hate that. It's a terrible analogy, but in Call of Duty, you know how, like, when you get the kill, then you get the 100 points. It's like that, and it's still in your body. You know, like how you get the score streaks. It's something like that, but it's not. You can't call it UAV, or you know what I'm saying. But I'm pretty sure you get spiritual. I'm pretty sure you get something for that, bad or good. I'm not saying it's something positive. I'm just saying, if you take another human off this earth, I'm pretty sure there's consequences for that. And I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about on a higher level. Because, like they said in war, like when they kill people and everything, they said they see their victims in their sleep and nightmares and everything. Every time they close their eyes and all that stuff. Because I remember I saw this video about the military dude. He actually said when he was sleeping, he saw his victim on the ceiling fan, and he was spinning around like a ceiling fan. And I think, I don't want to misinformation, because it's on YouTube. It was a military vet. He said he could still see the person, and I think the body parts and everything were flying through the room or some weird shit. Like, I don't want to talk crazy, so. But like I said, that stuff is deep. That stuff, like, that's the pinnacle of humans, like primal. You know, that stuff really messes you up. Going to war and all that type of things. Like I said, they call it shell shock, all that type of stuff. PTSD. It's just very, very sad. That's why I don't really believe in war anymore. Because a long time ago, I used to want to join the military. I used to want to be in the Marines as a sniper. Because I used to play Call of Duty. I used to think that shit was so cool. You know. And that was probably influence, playing Call of Duty and all those type of video games. It probably influenced us to join the military. Because Call of Duty itself is like sponsored by the military and all that. They actually did like real detailed things. That's why I love Call of Duty so much. That's like I believe that's the highest form of the first person shooter. And playing those games, it actually works. You could get reflex time. You could learn a lot of military skills playing those games. Okay, so like I said, number 6 is you shall not murder at all. It doesn't say self-defense, military, or nothing. So, like I said, you just got to make that decision with God, you know. Because I definitely don't recommend getting killed, you know. Because like I said, it's either you or me, and I don't want to go with you, you know. I don't want to be with your soul walking around. So, like I said, number 6 is you shall not murder. We're at 21 minutes. Number 7 is you shall not commit adultery. I think that's sleeping with somebody's wife, I think. Let me see. Adultery. Let me see. Yep, that's what it is. It says adultery is voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and someone other than their spouse. So yeah, like I said, I agree because that's sacred, being married. Like, that's a real, people don't take it seriously like that, but you pretty much become one, which is really beautiful. It's very, very cool. You know, like I had that, I wanted to have that a long time ago with one of my old girlfriends. So, because we were together for about 4.5 years. It was trim. I was about to go into detail. I was trying to think if I wanted to go into detail about that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I said, it's not worth it. So like I said, number 7 is you shall not commit adultery, which is sleeping with a married person. Number 8 is you shall not steal at all. You can't, nothing, not a single thing. Even if you broke, even if you down bad. Because sometimes I be wanting to steal. I want to steal a PlayStation 5. I want to go steal a Xbox Series X, a Xbox Rogue. Like, I be wanting to rob people and all that stuff, but that's not the way. It's really not. You know, that's why it's important to learn these morals and principles, because a lot of people don't know this stuff. You're not supposed to be doing this stuff. You know, and that's why they make it illegal. But not only is it legal, you get karma for all that type of stuff. If you rob somebody may rob your brother, your dad, your mom, sister. It's all that type of shit. So that's it. Number 8 is you shall not steal. Number 9 is you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. I don't know what that means. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. I don't know what that means. So number 10 is you shall not convey, or corvette. I think it's convey. You shall not convey. I'm sure there's a better wording or something. Something like this. I never heard that before. Well, I can't say I never heard that before, but you know. All right. Well, like I said, y'all can search this up all yourselves and really study this stuff. I recommend studying it. Because you don't, like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. All this stuff is the truth. And if I say this stuff, it probably should do something called resonate with you. Like when you don't really need You don't need science. You don't need another person to tell you this stuff. It's like, yeah, it's the truth, and that's called facts. You know, that's called uh, like I said, it's facts, and it doesn't care about your feelings or anything. It's the truth. Even if you say it's not the truth, it's still the truth. You just have to get to that level of experience, and you know. So yeah, it says, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." It's like I know what it means, but I really don't. So I don't. Then, like I said, I don't want to get on this camera and misspeak. So that one you have to figure out yourself. Number 10 is "You shall not convey." Okay, and that's the all 10 commandments. So like I said, I'll go over it one more time. Like I said, that's not the only one. The main one is the. I'm not gonna say it yet, but that's the one. That's the. Like you're supposed to add them all together, as well as the Torah, like the Jews, like all these laws you're supposed to put in together. But you know, a lot of people can't do that. It's very a lot of stuff is outdated, and a lot of people do it. So it's like you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage. But that's part of the sacrifice. So if you sacrifice that stuff, you'll be blessed back. And that's why it's important to be, like they said, to be sober and have something called awareness. It's good to have self-awareness, awareness of the people around you, awareness of your environment, your community, your government, your state, country, civilization, as well as but space, animals, all that good stuff. Because it's important not to offend anybody. But sometimes y'all get kind of, a lot of y'all are not educated and y'all don't have experience, so then y'all force yourselves upon people, and then we gotta look kind of crazy, because everybody isn't doing their studying, because we go to work and we're forced to go to work and make money. So, okay, so like I said, number 1 is "You shall have no other gods before me." Number 2 is "You shall not make idols." Number 3, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." Number 4 is "Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy." Number 5 is "Honor your father and mother." Mother. I'm from Maryland. We say father and mother, like FAVA and MUVA. So it's kind of hard to say father and mother. And y'all should see 50 minutes from me, 50 minutes down the street from me, we have Baltimore, and they say, like how I'm saying two, they be like pew. It's so weird. It's a whole nother accent. 50 minutes, just 50 minutes from me. And I've drove down there. It's not a drive. It's nothing. I'm like, how do y'all talk like that? Who told y'all to talk like that? And they be calling each other dummy and stupid. And I'm like, what the fuck wrong with these niggas? But like I said, number 1 is "You shall have no other gods before me." You shall not make idols. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Honor your father and mother. Number 6 is "You shall not murder." Number 7, I meant to say with the murder part. I believe if every time you do something like that, even if it's self-defense, I'm pretty sure you lower yourselves in the ranking of spirituality, because I'm pretty sure we just don't go to heaven. I'm pretty sure there's different levels. Because if you look at this thing called Dante's Inferno, they have levels of hell and heaven and purgatory. It's beautiful. I don't know how y'all found that type of stuff. Like I said, I'm giving y'all this knowledge. They on some whole, I don't know. That stuff, it's the truth though. It's very, very beautiful. Like I said, it resonates. That's where resonation comes in. It's like, wow. Like I can't prove that stuff, but it's like, it makes sense. So, where was that? You shall not murder, number 6. Number 7 is "You shall not commit adultery," which is sleeping with somebody's wife or husband. And then it's even worse if you're purposely looking for people that's married and all that type of stuff. So number 8 is "You shall not steal." And that sounds crazy, but a lot of people do that. Hunting for wives, hunting for virgins, a lot of stuff. Okay. Number 8 is "You shall not steal." Number 9 is you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You can search that up yourselves. Like I said, I want to search this stuff up. It's already 30 minutes. I didn't even search stuff up yet. I didn't even do the other one. So 30 minutes in already. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And number 10 is you shall not convey. All right. Oh, that's the one. So that's what I was thinking. So not only the 10 commandments, they have something called sins. And their sins are generally defined as violations of religious or moral law. And they have seven. They have 7 deadly sins. And they call them capital vices. So, like I said, let all this resonate real quick. Because all this stuff is the truth. I follow all this stuff. Yeah, I fall short, of course, but at the highest forms, we're supposed to be like this. So if you said, "Oh, I don't think," or you trying to debate it, it's a red flag. And we like some of this stuff is it's 2026. We're not doing no debating. You should already been, like I said, everybody should already been studying this type of stuff. This is damn near basic knowledge, but they say common sense isn't so common. So, and then like I said, a lot of people didn't have parents and good people in their lives to tell them this stuff. I was just around. Like I didn't like this stuff came to me. I didn't search it. You know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't say I didn't search it, but I wasn't actively searching it. So we were probably looking for each other. You know what I mean? That made me kind of deep. So like I said, we're at the sins, and like I said, I'm gonna just show the 7 deadly sins. Like these are extremely deadly, and this is what's going on in society right now. And if we didn't know about this stuff, I don't know, because it still would have been happening. Okay, so the first one is pride, the root of all sins, considering oneself above others or God. The next one is greed, and they have this thing in parentheses that says avarice or avarice. I don't know what that means. And it says excess, but I know what greed is, but I'm talking about the avarice. So, like I said, greed, it says excessive desire for material wealth. And that's not just material wealth. You could be looking for spiritual knowledge, like being greedy and all that type of stuff. Because they have a reason to have this greed for material stuff, because they're spiritual. Like a lot of this stuff is like it's physical and everything, but it has spiritual energy, and a lot of that stuff is connected to the spiritual realm or or to space, like gold, and like a lot of stuff you can't even find on Earth that much. Like a lot of these resources are night or something, but fuck. All right, it just cut off. Hold on. All right. So greed. So the 7 deadly sins is pride, the root of all sins, considering oneself above others or God. Like I said, emphasis on pride. The word is pride, Pride. Like I said, you can search all this stuff yourself. The next one is greed, avarice, or avarice. Greed is spelled Greed. Avarice is Avarice. And their definition says excessive desire for material wealth. Any type of wealth. Even food. Because sometimes I get, like how y'all saw me with the fish sandwich and the chicken strips and the milkshake and all that stuff. Oh shit, that's not greed. Okay, hold on. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But that's considered greed in a way. It still had that excessive desire, but that's a whole nother thing, the food. Like I said, okay, hold on. So like I said, it's greed, avarice, excessive desire for material wealth. The next one is lust, which is intense, disordered sexual desire. And like I said, that's how a lot of people, like, they have like love triangles and fetishes and all that type of stuff. Or some people may kill people off of being rejected. Like if a dude say, "Hey, can I get your number?" and she'd be like, "No." he may, you know what I mean? He may, I can't say the word, but he may R the female or even the woman. He may be so attractive that the woman tries to R him. Because to be like I said, black pill, that happened to me. Not physically. Like she tried. You know what I mean? You know, like there's some girls that actually tried the R me, not on some like forceful, which we was around each other, and she just got sporadic. You know what I'm saying? She got sporadic and started kissing on me and all that type of stuff, which is like I said, lustful. You know, so like I said, that's lust, which is intense, disordered sexual desire. And like I said, I found her attractive too, and we did what we did, but she came on to me, like I didn't know. We was just chilling, and she just, you know what I'm saying? And I know people go through that type of stuff, because I'm like that too. I just, like I said, I know how to control it. Like I said, we all have these things. We're supposed to control it. So I'm on 36 minutes. Hopefully it don't cut off. So like I said, lust is intense, disordered sexual desire. The next one is envy, which is resenting others' blessings or possessions. That's like, remember how I showed y'all the $500 jeans, which is still crazy. That's like, to this, like nowadays, I'm like, why would I do that? And I still would, but I don't have any money right now. So back then I did. So, but like I said, I showed y'all the jeans, and they were like, why he got them jeans? And I want those jeans. What makes him so special to get those and I don't? You know? And then somebody end up robbing me or killing me for those jeans. That's envy. And there's different levels of it. Whether it's like, for example, if I had a girlfriend, if I had like a very, very a 10 out of 10 female, a lot of guys, we would be walking down the street and they would look at me. You know what I mean? They'll literally look at you and mad, and they're like, what makes him so cool that he gets this type of women and all that type of stuff? And they may actually kill you for having women and being admired and loved by everybody, because they'll be like, what makes him so special? And I'm like that too sometimes. So like I said, it's not like I'm not making this stuff up. No, I was there too. Like, you just have to have that awareness and make that change. Like I said, if you went through all these stuff and you don't agree with it, it's probably a red flag, and you have to get yourself together. And that's why I make these videos. So like I said, envy, which is resenting others' blessings or possessions. That's also how people are with billionaires. Like, even though they're helping people, but they have like this god tier wealth that they can help people, and people resent that for them. But we actually need those type of people. They keep jobs, they keep a lot of things afloat. Like, I believe those type of people, like the billionaires, I believe they were like conquerors and all that type of stuff in a past life. Like, Genghis Khan. I don't want to say these people because I don't want to get banned, but Germany, Vlad the Impaler, all these type of people. They were very, very conquerous and dominant. You know what I mean? So like I said, in a past life, they probably were conquerors and everything. So you just got to let them roll and do their thing, because they are providing value to society. Like, look at Elon, look at Jeff Bezos, look at Sam Altman with AI and all that type of stuff. Like, I used to not agree with AI, and I still don't, but I used it, and it's the truth. It's like I said, it's the next cell phone. Like, it's the next edition. You know how we got the iPhone, which is cool as fuck, and then we got social media. I believe that's the next building block for us, because you know how we have our phones all day and everything. We could really use ChatGPT for all this stuff. Did I use it? Not at all. Not a single piece. I swear to God. And like I said, and y'all can see how I'm flowing. I would have been like looking at this and shit. Like, this is my first time getting on the computer and doing this, because I didn't feel like writing. You know what I mean? So where am I at? I'm at envy, versus resenting others' blessings and possessions. The next one is what I was talking about with food. Is gluttony. which is overindulgence in food or drink. You can show an example of gluttony by searching up something called a mukbang. And a lot of people do like food reviews and everything because they're foodies. There's something called foodies. You can search that up. That's what people like really really love food, and they go around eating different types of food, which is good. But some people like I did with the fish sandwich, the chicken strips, and all that type of stuff. There's some people that would get a whole crab piece of stuff and just it's so wild. And the best way to see them is like it's a skinny person. Like they have some like if you search up like some Asian person, like it'll be like some skinny woman and she's eating like octopus, lobster, all these wild crustaceans and foods and all that type of stuff. And a lot of people that's also a fetish too, food fetish and all that type of stuff, but it's really gluttony. And a lot of people find that attractive, like seeing other people eat. Like sometimes I'm like that when I see like a skinny girl and she's like going to town on some food or whatever. I'm like, it's kind of hot, but it's it's a deadly sin. It's overindulgence in food, and that's how people get fat. That's the best way to tell people are fat, that they're gluttonous, and that's why it's the red flag. Anybody who's fat is a red flag. I know that sounds crazy as shit, but it's a gluttony. They were overindulgence. On top of that, they didn't work out. So that's why I was gonna say that's why I don't trust fat people, but that's not true. But it is a red flag though. Like if you're doing business with somebody and they're fat, they're probably going to be greedy or gluttonous. Okay, so the next one, this is a good one, and this is where we are right now with America. Wrath, uncontrolled rage or hatred, and that's pretty much. And you can only have wrath if you have power. You know what I mean? Like for example, I could go outside right now. If I wanted to, I could step on a bug. I could knock a person out. I could force people to give me money. You know what I mean? That's wrath. And you have to control it. You have to choose to you have to have that choice. If you're a weak individual, you can't choose to have wrath. You know what I mean? That's like, for example, the best way to example, you know how we have. Oh, see, I don't want to talk crazy on here, and it get banned, but I'll just say weapons, like a missile or whatever. Like let's say I'm talking right now, and somebody doesn't like the way I'm talking, they'll put a missile on my house and blow my house up. I don't have a missile. I don't have missile detection or deflection. I just got to be like, damn. You know what I mean? But they have the choice to do that to me. You know what I mean? They can do that whenever they want, but they choose not to because they don't show the wrath. Like let's say I make that person mad, and they be like, "Oh, really?" And just like that, I'm not here anymore. That's called wrath, which is uncontrolled rage or hatred. And you're not supposed to be doing that. And that's really what a lot of men are. Like if you say the wrong thing to them, they may snap your neck, knock you out, or whatever. That's wrath. So like I said, the last one of the 7 deadly sins is sloth, which is spiritual laziness or apathy. And really laziness in general. Like I said, we're not supposed to be looking at astrology, but I kind of looked at a little bit of it, like it just you know what I mean? Like I didn't go in and all that type of stuff, but I've seen like my faults. Like that's what I'm saying. I didn't get to see all of them, but like we were born on a certain day and month, and it's called astrology, and they have these things called Aquarius, Sagittarius, and see, I didn't learn about that stuff yet, so because we're not supposed to, so I just didn't do it. But a lot of people do it, and it's Christians at that. I'm like, a lot of people are Christian and learning astrology. I'm like, red flag. You know what I mean? So, because it's truth. It's the truth. Like I said, that's why I believe Christianity is kind of suppressing and oppressing us. And that's why we should learn other religions, because you would not know this as a Christian. You know? And like I said, then you start trusting in, like I said, the stars, the sun, the moon, and all that type of stuff. And you're not really supposed to trust in those things, even though they have trust in it. Even though they have truth in it, it's still forbidden, if you will. Because like we're free now in America, but some places, if you learn this stuff, they may kill you. Not they will they will give you a death penalty. And that's why I love America so much, because we're free at the highest forms, and this stuff is the truth, and they were oppressing us. And like I said, that's gonna be a final video and all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna do this video. I'm gonna do one final video, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really getting the likes that I'm not getting the monetary gain that I'm looking for. So, and then people are looking at my videos without liking it or commenting, which is scary to me. So after I told y'all don't do that shit, so it's like I'm kind of like I'm kind of over it. So I'm gonna just get up out of here. So, like I said, we're gonna go over one more time the 7 deadly sins, capital vices: pride, the root of all sins, considering oneself above others or God; greed, avarice, excessive desire for material wealth; lust, which is intense, disordered sexual desire; envy, which is resenting others' blessings and possessions; gluttony, overindulgence in food or drink; wrath, uncontrolled rage or hatred; and sloth, which is spiritual laziness or apathy. And when they say spiritual laziness, I'm pretty sure doing stuff like this, doing the spiritual work, and like really tapping in with yourself. And like I said, you can search all this up on Google. I just did a simple Google search. I said, "What are all the sins?" and it popped up. And like I said, I'll take a picture and all that, because the plan was like I said, I got all these pictures of stuff, and I was gonna write it all down, but I'm like, that stuff takes all day, and that, not even that, that's gonna probably take me all month, and I don't have all month. I'm kind of down bad. I need money. So, okay. And this video is getting so long, so I guess I'll just make one video of the Christian moral principles, and the next one will be the top tier one that nobody can find. I thank God that I thank God that somebody gave this information to me, and I was like, whoa, because this is the one. This is the real one to tell. Like, because the Christian one, that's easy. You feel me? Because that's like evil shit. It's just don't do evil. Or just don't. Because a lot of people can't even get to those levels. Like that stuff is like for. Like that's really for superior people. Like who can like do a lot of damage to people, but they choose not to. So. Yeah, like I said, the video's already in 48 minutes, and I gotta pee. I ain't gonna hold you. I drink a lot of water. So I'm gonna do 3 more videos, and then I'm gonna stop for a little bit so we can all digest this stuff. And like I said, the best of the best to do this is by, you should get yourself right first. Like you should look at all these videos, Like this shouldn't be actually sure, this could be the first video if you watch, if you want. But like I said, it's supposed to be a series. It's supposed to be a process. You know what I mean? Because like I said, all this stuff is the truth. I really believe in these videos, and I really stand on this stuff. Because like I said, I'm willing to die about this stuff. Like that commandment thing, you have to be willing to die about it. Because there's other countries that don't like Christians and all that type of stuff. And why would they not like that? Well, they don't mind the morals and principles. It's the specific person of Jesus Christ that they don't like. And on top of that, they don't like that you're not supporting their religion. Because other religions, like the Christian, Muslim, and Jews, they're kind of all connected. So they're fighting for that moral compass. They're fighting for that moral compass of how they want society to be. the Christians, not the Asians, the Christians, which is anybody, is the Christian is. I still don't really understand Christianity. That's higher than. That's a profound thing. That's why I still stay with Christianity. Cause like it's not just prayer. You know what I mean? Like it's like if you get into Christianity, they have something called the Knights Templars. They have Christian monks and all this cool stuff. But like I said, you can search it up yourself and all that. I didn't. That wasn't the main part of the video. It's as you see, it's already 50 minutes in. I can't really. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, all this stuff is the truth though. So if you couldn't follow that one, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. Even if it's outdated. Even if it's outdated. It's still a good, like at your highest forms, like the best that you can be. I recommend adding those things. Not saying that you can't eat a lot of food and all that, but I wouldn't say all the time. Cause I'll say a perfect example. My grandmother. Remember I told y'all that we used to eat crabs every weekend. That's kind of gluttonous, even if it's not every day. She ate crabs every weekend, and now she became allergic to crabs. That's some wild shit, right? That's an example of a deadly sin. She loved the crabs so much that she became allergic to crabs, and now she can't eat crabs anymore. No, I'm tripping. She's allergic to shrimp. She's not allergic to crabs. She's not allergic to crabs, but she used to love shrimp. She used to eat shrimp with the crabs. Like as y'all can see, I had the shrimp boil and all that type of stuff, crab boil. But she can't eat no type of shrimp now because she'll get an allergic reaction and swell up, and you'll need a EpiPen to save her and all that type of stuff. No, I don't live with my grandma, by the way. Like I said, my grandma literally lives 2 doors down from me, which is, like I said, is wild as shit. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to show for right now. I'm gonna show y'all the next one. I was gonna show it in both videos, but there's 42 of those principles. There was only, what was that? 7 deadly sins and 10 commandments. And like I said, you pile them on top of each other. Like you just don't follow one. You follow the commandments, you follow the 7 deadly sins, and then you go to the next one, you follow those. And like I said, y'all gonna be surprised when y'all see this, because it's so many red flags that people do, and the laws pretty much expose it. I'll say what it is. It's called the 42 Laws of Mayat. Like I said, I studied something called Egyptian culture, and we, in history, they were like pharaohs, and they had their own gods. Like remember the idol gods and all that type of stuff. People used to pray to those people and type of stuff. You may have seen them. They be having like a lion head with a human body, like I showed at the harbor, but not like that. Not that weird. Well, no, that was weird as fuck, but not that simple. Because I don't know if they actually had that for a head or if that was a spiritual meaning, because animals are spiritual and they have spiritual animals. So that could have been like their way of talking in code, of saying what their spirit animal was or whatever. Because if you search up Egyptian culture, like I said, they would have the body of an Egyptian or a human body, and it would be a lion, a bird, a crocodile, all that stuff. But yeah, so like I said, that's gonna be the next video. I'll be talking about the 42 laws of Mayat, and like I said, there's 42 of them. It's 42 laws that you should follow, and like I said, if you can't agree with that, it's probably a red flag, and I don't want to be around you if you can't at least agree with it. Like you don't have to follow them, but you can agree and say yes, that's a really, really high form of laws and principles that people should stand on. And a lot of people don't know about this stuff. Or maybe they do and they just don't show it, which they should, but it's the truth though. Like I said, I came across that one time. That person gave me that information one time, and I haven't seen it since. Like they deleted one of my homies. Well, that's not my homie. I don't know him. But the person that showed me all this stuff, they deleted his channel. They said, he was talking so much high level information like this, and they took him off the internet because they was literally helping people ascend. Like his information, like I don't even know. I probably did it to y'all on accident, which I meant to say that. Like telling y'all this information, your eyes will glow up. Like I can't even describe it like on a physical level. It's like, yeah, that's okay. Hopefully I can show it right here. Like when you lower the brightness of your phone camera. Let me say I tell you this. I'm a I'm a fake like I'm telling y'all information, and then I'm a raise the brightness of the phone. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully I showed it on here, like how the brightness got down. So let's say it's dark right now. Let's say he told me this information. Every time they told me this high level knowledge, it would glow up like that. Like just every time they told us this, like every time they told us information, it was so high level spirituality. It literally changes your life. Like it's wild. It's it's hard to describe. It's enlightenment. If that's I think that may be the word. He's like giving you enlightenment. So like I said, I probably did that to y'all and didn't even know it. Like it should make like real information that changes your life. It should make you glow up. Like literally, like in your eyes, you'll be like, "Whoa, shit!" It'll be like that, but it'll be like bright. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna spend. It's already about to be an hour, and that was just off the Christian principles. So I'll just label this the Christian principles and moral compass that you should follow. Yeah. So we have 57 minutes. So like I said, the next video will be the 42 laws of Mayat. So if I helped y'all out, please let me know. If y'all agree, please tell me you agree. If you disagree, tell me you disagree, and I'll debate it with you. Because like I said, I really believe in this stuff. Okay. So I make sure I ain't missing nothing out. And so hopefully everybody's having a good week. The day is Wednesday. I've been rolling since Tuesday. Last Tuesday. I've been dropping videos. I think I got about 20 videos in right now. I've been going non-stop. Y'all probably see these videos and don't take them seriously. This is all I've been doing all day, every day for the past week. Just been doing this. As you can see, I'm wearing the same clothes, all that type of stuff. I don't got time. Like as you can see, I showed y'all the videos. I started at 7 in the morning. It's 4:13 right now. Because like I said, I was on Twitter. I made the shorts and everything that y'all can see. They got copyrighted, so I gotta share them on Twitter so y'all can look. Because I'm still getting views for them, but it says blocked. But like I said, I don't really care about the views because it's not impressing y'all or whatever. So I like the videos that I'm making because I'm looking at the videos with y'all and it's like wow, they're pretty good and they're watchable. It's not like I'm forcing y'all to watch it or doing some type of psychological tricks on y'all. Hopefully I'm just an entertaining individual. And like I said, I'm not an entertainer. Don't expect me to be on here and fucking be a clown for y'all. Cause like I said, I'm past all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I can't entertain y'all like that. I can't be some clown. Like by definition, I'm not trying to be insulted, but by definition, a clown or a jester. You know what I mean? All right. So like I said, it's about to be 60 minutes. I'm gonna just run it up till it's 60. Actually, let me not do that because it may bullshit. All right, love y'all so much. Please like and subscribe.